Mercedes-Benz, its car sales, car and van sales fell by 4% worldwide last year. Mercedes-Benz blames a challenging environment globally. It's a big challenging environment. Well, is it really? Well, actually more cars were sold in 2024 than what was sold in 2023. So the market got bigger, but Mercedes-Benz sales shrank. In particular, Mercedes-Benz electric car sales fell by 37% because a lot of people think they're too expensive. I've gotten feedback from a lot of Mercedes-Benz dealerships personally, and they're saying it's hard for them to sell those vehicles because they're just so expensive. Mercedes-Benz say they have a solution to this problem. Revenue falls, sales fall, and the solution is just charge more money. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. It's great to have you with us. Now, I should point out, guys, that on the same day that this was revealed, Mercedes-Benz increasing prices by $6,000 across the entire range. May also recalled the most widely sold global EV, the Mercedes-Benz EQB, was recalled over fire risks. EQB owners are being told they should limit charging to 80% to make sure that the battery doesn't set itself on fire. You know, if these EV brands were smart, if Mercedes-Benz was smart, they could easily choose the batteries we've been talking about on this channel now for years that don't catch fire. And you know what they are? And manufacturers continue to make these same mistakes. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Neither does, you know what doesn't make any sense as well as this? Mercedes-Benz increasing prices. Dealerships are saying they've had to discount cars continually in China, in Australia, in the United States, had to discount cars in order to sell them. But Mercedes-Benz has raised its prices across its entire 2025 lineup, with price ranges from $600 up to $6,000, depending on the model. So the prices of all cars have gone up. Mercedes-Benz GLA, that's the brand's I think it's the brand's best-selling model by volume. Its retail price was increased by only about $1,000. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all the cars because I'm sure it'll bore you to death. Because to be honest, in my opinion, Mercedes-Benz cars are all pretty boring. There's none that appeal to me, guys. I was thinking about it the other day. If I won the lottery and someone said to me, okay, you've got to use your winnings and go and buy your favorite Mercedes-Benz vehicle. And I just scratched my head for 10 minutes. I could not think of it. I mean, guys, I love cars. I freaking love cars. I'm a huge car industry fan. You know, you hear me all the time. I want to buy this car. I want to buy that. I want to buy this new. I'm thinking, what Mercedes-Benz vehicle would I buy? I'm still stumped, and it's been a month since I had asked myself that question. Can you think of which one would you buy? I mean, which Mercedes-Benz vehicle excites you? Let me know which it is. Now, Mercedes-Benz said it had no plans to introduce any plug-in hybrid models in its range as it looked to capitalize on the increased popularity of electric models 2 years prior. But the brand backtracked on that stance amid declining demand for its EVs in the domestic market in 2024. Now, the media is framing this, right? Here's what drive.com.au said, and I'm sure you've read this before many times from other media sources. Mercedes backtracked on that stance amid declining demand for battery-powered electric cars in 2024. It's repeated, declining demand for electric cars, just thousands of times by the media, when EV sales went up by 25% in 2024. So more misinformation. But anyhow, here's what Jamie Cohen, CEO of Mercedes-Benz Australia, said. I think we all expected a faster, quicker EV transition. There's been a change in the pace. I know we had the flexibility to adjust the pace and say, okay, maybe not as fast as we thought. So Mercedes-Benz are saying that the problems with their EV sales, the problems with the company, with sales going down by 4%, with revenue going down, with profits going down, the problems are not from Mercedes. None of this is any responsibility whatsoever of Mercedes. Have you ever heard Mercedes take responsibility? Say, you know what? Prices were too high. Product wasn't good enough. What about for all the recalls? All the crazy recalls they've had where I reported on this. They knew for 11 months after they were selling faulty vehicles, faulty EVs around the world, particularly in China, they knew the motors were faulty and were breaking. The Chinese were coming back in and saying, guys, we bought this new EQ. We bought this new $200,000 electric vehicle from you, and the motor keeps the motors are breaking. And there was this massive saga going on for 11 months in China. The Chinese government had to step in and force Mercedes-Benz to recall the vehicles. It was a joke. Mercedes-Benz didn't come along and say, we tanked our own fucking sales in China. We killed ourselves with this PR nightmare. This was one of the numerous problems Mercedes created for itself in China. Mercedes never said, you know what, we're responsible. Around the world, we charge too much for our vehicles, for our EVs, for our internal combustion cars. We charge too much. The range isn't long enough. Charging speeds aren't what we claim they are. They're not even up to EVs that are a fraction of the price from other brands. They didn't say any of that. They just said this. We all expected a quicker, faster EV transition. It's everyone else's fault. It's consumers' fault. Consumers put us in this situation. They're blaming you. They're blaming the market. Does this sound like a company taking personal responsibility that it's going to pivot and actually bounce back? Do you think it does? Personally, to me, it sounds like excuses and putting blame in places where actually there isn't any blame to be found. Consumers aren't at fault. Neither is the government. Mercedes-Benz, if they wake up and realize this, maybe they can save the company. That said, guys, I don't think they can. I actually think Mercedes-Benz will become probably Geely. I think Geely are very likely to own them. They have obviously some commercial tie-ups. Geely actually owns 10% of Mercedes-Benz already. I'm going to guess that at some point in time, Geely will pick up that ownership stake to 51%, take a controlling ownership in Mercedes-Benz, and probably save them from themselves. Mercedes-Benz, maybe you should be calling Geely. Maybe it's about that time. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. In an unusual act of solidarity, Mercedes-Benz's CEO has said that, well, Tesla's right. There is way too many people calling in sick, basically saying, as a result, German companies have lost competitiveness. Direct quote, "We are no longer at the forefront when it comes to competitiveness," said Källenius. "It should not be so easy to call in sick." Now, this is just one of the many issues facing Mercedes-Benz and other German companies and manufacturers, as we're seeing the highest levels of bankruptcies in more than a decade happen in Germany. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. When I started this channel about 3.5 years ago, no one knew who I was. A big component of what I wanted to share with people was that, honestly, the Western world, manufacturers, particularly Japan and Germany, who are so incredibly reliant on the automotive industry, that they were in trouble, that a crisis was going to come. And some people wrote stuff online, which you can find it quite easily, saying that I was making this stuff up, it was all ridiculous, and it was scaremongering. But when you have a look at the numbers from these companies, you start to get a picture of what's happening. When you have a look at the rise of China's automotive industry, it's very obvious what's happening.